With Bowser in the party, the three heroes made a most unlikely trio. Peach attempted to explain the quest to Bowser, but it made him grunt in confusion. As Mario walked ahead, he spotted something that made him briefly stop and stare. "What is it, Mario?" asked Peach as she turned to see the blue expanse ahead. The great glittering waves of the tile pool stretched as far as she could see, for Francis was somewhere across the water. Welcome to the tile pool. This is basically a water level and an easy water level. Not difficult at all, and I'm glad it's only like one water level in the whole entire game. Basically, I recommend playing as Bowser through this water level because his attacks can do a lot more damage. Well, not just more damage, but he can actually do attacks to enemies in the water. So, that's something that's good, because there's areas where you can't really get across without, like, you know, beating the enemy that you need to beat. Does that make sense? I don't know. Anyway, keep playing as Bowser, and you can flip to 3D in that back area to get just some coins, and it makes passing that under area a lot easier. Anyway, let's defeat these bloopers. Is what they're called. Catch card. I should kind of explain what catch cards are. Catch cards are basically like there are some enemies that you can't catch. Like there's no catch card for them. Like their actual card, there's no card for them. You have to like buy them in a shop. Really quickly, these pillars right here, we're gonna want to come back to them in a while. But what catch cards basically do is catch an enemy's soul, and I recommend getting like difficult enemies that you can't get catch cards for, other than buying them at the local store. But you're not gonna want to do that, and they have the same effect as a regular catch card. Basically meaning that you deal more damage to them, to that enemy that the soul has been captured, sort of, kind of. Does that make somewhat sense? Sort of, kind of. I don't know. If it doesn't make sense, I'll put some kind of annotation or something. Anyway, going on through here, there's whirlpools, which I just went through, and it did absolutely no damage. It just kind of spins you around in the whole screen too. That's all it basically does. No danger here, so just keep on going and randomly spin around. And then let's keep going. Okay, now here's an area right here that you're gonna want to look at. There's a drawing of posts up on the wall from left to right. You're gonna want to remember this because those pillars that I showed you earlier, remember this pattern because you are gonna need to do something with this to continue on through the game. So let's continue on going backwards. We're gonna backtrack now to a middle area here in the game. In this level, come to this area right here and go down the pipe. And then I recommend going as Bowser right here. Okay, that's not what I meant to do. I meant to breathe fire. Go all the way down here. And I recommend having Bowser because you can defeat the enemies a lot faster in this area than the other enemies can, you know, than using Boomer's power or something like that. Anyway. You'll notice right away that there's a gate now that blocks the exit, so what you have to do is defeat all the enemies in here. Simple, easy, and once all the enemies are defeated, this will appear. Hey, in case you ain't heard, I throw a lot of girth around these parts. and I'm gonna check you out to make sure you got the weight to hang out with me. Alright, let's start by checking that face of yours. Dude has shaggy eyebrows. That's not even kind of girth. Girthy, you get 50 girth points. Alright, I gotta check the girthiness of those clothes of yours. What's more girthy than a giant spiky shell? That's worth 100 girth points. Girth check on the body coming up. That's where the real heavy comes from. Look at this guy. Look at him up in the dictionary, and he's the definition of girth. A super heavyweight right here. Bam! 10,000 girth points. The sheer girthitude on display here is blowing my mind. There's no getting around it. You got heavy like I've never seen before. Any fool that just have you... Love it, I can't read. Love it. Smash and squish those lightweights. You're going places with girth like that, and I want to come along for the ride. And with that, we have the ground pounding pixel Budley, which means now we can do ground pounds, basically. Normally, you could always do ground pounds in any kind of Mario game, but in this Mario game, you need this pixel to do ground pounds. So just come over here to this area, and just stomp this. And now you're gonna want to just go through this door and backtrack to those 3 little stompy thingamabobbers that I showed you before. You know what? I'm gonna make this easy. I'm just gonna meet you there. Alright, back here in this area, what you're gonna want to do is ground pound these 2 ones. Actually, that one right there. And then these 2 right here. Just like the pattern showed you earlier. It'll open a door for you. And now let's continue on. Alright, just basically simply swim and avoid these enemies. You don't even have to defeat them. If you want to take the time to defeat them, to gain more points, to, you know, possibly gain a level of attack power, that would be nice in case you're a little behind, because there is a boss battle coming up, but you know what, you don't really need attack power for the boss battle. You just need to, you know, fight the boss. There's no HP for this boss, just to let you know. Hey Lamprease, how'd you like a tentacle sandwich? And with that, it's time for a boss battle. Alright, this is a pretty easy boss battle, I'm not going to lie. But let's just quickly use a shroom shake on us here. Now let me tell you that you can use Dudley to ground pound this stuff, or you could use Bowser. Bowser's a lot easier to use. So just wait for these tentacles to come up and just attack them. You won't do any damage if you hit the blue ones, but you do want to keep hitting the blue tentacles over and over, because the blue ones will make the red tentacle pop up, and the red tentacle is what you want to aim for. It is what the Pixel Berry told us in the beginning of Chapter 3.1, to look for the red X mark, the red tentacle, and ride the red wind. This is the red tentacle, the second clue that he gave us to get to Fort Francis. So basically, just use Bowser here, attack over and over and over, wait till you see the red ones, and then just basically do that. Wait for the red ones, and I think it takes about 3 hits, and you're good to go. Alright, the red one should be coming up now. This last one should be the red one. Okay, one more, and then it should be the red one. Yep, and that's the battle, I believe. Yep, that's it. And he'll just disappear. And with a very simple, easy, anticlimactic boss battle with no story attached to it at all, continue on to the final area. And with that, it is the end of chapter.